Well, we have all the same questions that I think you all would ask. We want to know what went on during the prosecution when many believe that Epstein was awarded a sweetheart plea deal. So we're going to ask a lot of questions about this. This is going to be a pretty hard-hitting deposition today, transcribed interview, so hopefully we'll be able to get some information back to you all as soon as possible. And again, this is a very serious, very fast-moving investigation. We want it to be bipartisan, so we're going to continue. Let me give you an update. We've talked to the Treasury. We have the suspicious activity report coming into our possession. We have some that have been redacted. We're going to go to Treasury and see the unredacted version. So let me say this, the Trump administration is fully cooperating with us in this investigation. We're going to continue to get more documents in from the estate, unredacted, and we will be able to answer some more questions. So.
Do you plan to ask about the FBI director said in his testimony earlier this week that the non-prosecution agreement that Acosta oversaw hamstrung investigators, which is one reason why they haven't been able to get to the bottom of a lot of these questions that are being asked. Do you plan to ask about that? Yeah,
absolutely. And I think if you go back to what Patel said with respect to Acosta, that poured fuel on the fire, so to speak. We're going to continue to try to seek answers. We want to know what happened. According to the survivors of Epstein, they said that they had reached out to government authorities. They had spoken to investigators. They had spoken to FBI agents in the past, and yet nothing happened. So, according to the victims and the survivors of Epstein, there was a lot of warning about the crimes that Epstein and Maxwell were committing, but yet it appears the government let the victims down and they didn't prosecute. So Acosta was a major player in that. We're going to have a lot of questions for him. I'm sure the Democrats will as well. We'll keep you updated. And as far as an update of the investigation, we have the bank records. And when we met with the victims and we said, what can we do? What can we do to expedite this investigation, to be able to provide justice for you all? They said, follow the money. Follow the money. And that's what we're doing. And again, the Trump administration is fully cooperating with that. And I feel like we'll be able to hopefully get some more answers and have some more documents to post on our website hopefully very soon. Thank you all.
And that's kind of shocking.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to ask those questions. So, and I'm sure that he knows we're going to ask those questions. So he should be fully prepared to answer those questions. And again, this is the most extensive investigation of Epstein to date. What's frustrating to me is you continue to write about the discharge petition. We have gone far beyond the discharge petition. The discharge petition didn't mention the state. We've already subpoenaed and accumulated the documents from the state. We have one more batch we expect to get in. We've already interviewed Bill Barr. We have Acosta today. So we're so far past what the discharge petition was wanting to do. It's not even a factor now. So hopefully we'll get some answers. And at the end of the day, the objective is to get justice for the victims of Epstein Island. And it's I have to say this, it's very disappointing that the Democrats have just so politicized this. Joe Biden had 4 years where he could have released the Epstein documents, or the Audapin could have released the Epstein documents. Whoever was running the show could have released the Epstein documents, and they did not. They did not. And if you ask any Democrats about this investigation, they seldom mention the victim. They only talk about Trump. And nothing that we've received. We've had hours of meetings with the victims. Maxwell's talked, Bill Barr's talked, the other AGs have sent letters. There's no liability for Donald Trump. There's no evidence that shows Donald Trump was involved in this. So I think you need to refocus the investigation and remember the purpose is to try to get some type of justice for the victims and to find out what happened. Were there prosecutors that turned a blind eye? I think hopefully today we'll be able to get some answers. So thank you all for being here.
Victims released a statement this week saying that they were deeply upset with Mr. Patel's testimony. Mr. Patel said that there wasn't evidence in the FBI's possession that victims were trafficked to other people. What do you make of these victims and their reaction to what Mr. Patel said?
Well, I mean, we want to work with the victims, so we're trying to review the data too, and we've expressed to the victims it would be helpful if they would give us some names of some people. We'll look at the bank records. That was one of the things the attorney said. Look at the bank violations, the bank records, and you will find potentially some names. Right now, there haven't been any names that have emerged other than press reports. The documents haven't showed that. That doesn't mean there aren't any. I don't know. That's why we're getting more documents in, and we'll have questions for him. And hopefully the victims will continue to communicate with our staff and our attorneys, because we'll put a list together. If there's a list, we'll find it. If there's not a list, we'll try to put together who we think was involved. But right now, the documentation hasn't shown any names of anyone that was human trafficking other than Epstein and Maxwell. So, but hopefully we'll have more conversations with the victims, and hopefully we'll find some stuff out today.
Chairman, can I
Thank you
just
all.
ask
Thank
if
you.
you